Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to this late edition of the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. Dear fans and subscribers, I know that I couldn't actually bring up the broadcast session. Actually, I did a very good piece on such a wonderful record which was set in the T20 cricket by Sunil Narine of West Indies when he got his team to a victory, and that was something absolutely stupendous because he went on to bowl a super over, and he bowled a maiden wicket super over, and that was something absolutely stupendous. Now, I'm lost for words because I definitely loaded probably a 23-minute YouTube video on Sunil Narine and talking about other things on cricket, but unfortunately, one does not know what was the reason. There was some problem with YouTube, and YouTube actually aborted my video, and I could never. I uploaded it. I waited for 2 days, but finally that particular video was aborted. Now that is pretty sad because I did it with lots of enthusiasm, and that's the reason I came on Twitter and Google Plus and really shot out a message to you all that about Sunil Narine's hat trick. But I wanted to talk on that. Well, that's gone now. But let me tell you, that is something absolutely stupendous. It's never happened in T20 cricket, and that was a real record which was set by Sunil Narine. I mean, it takes a real something of what I don't know what to say. Bowling a super over and you bowl a maiden over, and that is something that nobody. I mean, that's an amazing feat which has done by Sunil Narine. Now, we know Sunil Narine is a wonderful bowler. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But what he did here is an extraordinary feat that he has performed in T20 cricket, and absolutely no parallels to what Sunil Narine did the other day. Nicholas Pooran was really searching for the ball from the red steel, and then Ross Taylor couldn't lay bat to ball, and let me tell you, the six dot balls and a wicket to boot, well, that is truly stupendous. Well, so I am not going to really dwell on that. Now we will get on to what is really happening, and that's the precise reason, dear fans and subscribers, the YouTube broadcast couldn't be brought to you yesterday. As I said, the uploaded video that I had on YouTube was aborted, and I had to delete my video. Well, so let's get on to what's happening in the cricketing world today. Well, yeah, there are two good matches which are happening, and both the matches right now, as far as both the test matches that are being played, looks to be heading towards a result. The England-India for sure heading towards a result. There's no doubt about it. In fact, as far as South Africa and Sri Lanka are concerned, well, Hashim Amla, the South African captain, has shown that he is really willing to accept the challenge. In fact, this is his first test match as captain, and that really shows what a bold captain Hashim Amla of South Africa is. In the very first test match, he has that. I mean, he has so much of. He trusts himself. He trusts his boys, and he has gone there and declared the innings and given a very achievable target to the Sri Lankans. And Sri Lankans, chasing 370 runs to win. Tomorrow is the final day of the test match, where 260 runs would be required for Sri Lanka to win the match. But right now, they are sitting pretty well right now at close of play. They've already knocked off 110 runs of those. Kumar Sangakkara and Kaushal Silva are looking pretty good right now. So we'll come back to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first go on to the match between India and England. And today, England were all out very quickly. They were all out for 319. There was not much to go. Bhuvneshwar Kumar picked up his best figures in Test cricket after bowling 31 overs, 10 maidens, 82 runs and 6 wickets. And today I'm not going to really get into those details. It was the tailenders who were picked up pretty quickly. I picked up Stuart Broad, then Anderson was gone to the bowling of Jadeja. So that was interesting. Anderson going out to Jadeja, 319 all out, and thus conceding a lead, thus taking a lead of 24 runs. As I said, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was the feature. He went on to pick up 6 wickets for 82 runs, 31 overs, and 10 of those were maidens. Just looking at the other face of it, when India actually trailing by 24 runs, they took to bat here on the third day in the Lord's Test match against England. And well, they had a good opening stand, a decent opening stand, but Shikhar Dhawan definitely, he has been really not been in the good form. I mean, he has not been able to get a big knock under his belt, and today once more Shikhar Dhawan once again failed, as after doing well to score 31 with 4 boundaries, Stokes had him, he got a short delivery, he tried to cream it through the backward point region, but only succeeded in seeing Joe Root flinging himself to take a very good catch. So that was the first wicket to go. So that made it 40 for 1. And after that, Cheteshwar Pujara came in and joined Murli Vijay. And India were proceeding pretty serenely at that particular moment, with both Cheteshwar Pujara and Murli Vijay really putting their heads down and knowing that they have a task on hand, slowly trying to retrieve the situation. They did it pretty well, with Murli Vijay playing some handsome strokes. Pujara, as usual, showing the door defense with his very wonderful technique, dropping the wrists and keeping the ball down. Definitely Anderson, Broad, Stokes and Plunkett definitely tested the Indian batsmen with a lot of short pitch stuff, but really Indian batsmen, I thought, stood it well. And Murli Vijay and Cheteshwar Pujara, from the score of 40, they put up a very good partnership there of 78 runs between them, and that took the score to 118. And India were looking pretty well placed at that time, in the sense when Cheteshwar Pujara and Murli Vijay were at the crease. But suddenly, when Murli Vijay was really trying to get to terms with the bowling, and he was coming down the wicket to the spin of Moeen Ali by hitting him for a boundary, and it was looking like slowly, like probably Cheteshwar Pujara and Vijay would slowly see out the day, in the sense they would really put their heads down, which they were doing, but probably one would have expected both of them to be staying till the close of play. But suddenly after tea, there were 3 quick wickets which fell. India looking good at 118, but after tea, 3 wickets fell, and that was in pretty it fell in at regular intervals. Like at 118, Pujara was the first to go, when Liam Plunkett was the one who started it all by first picking up Cheteshwar Pujara's wicket as he was gone. Courtbrae bowled Plunkett for 43 with 7 fours, and then Plunkett took a very important wicket. In fact, the very first delivery that Virat Kohli received, he was a goner, as Plunkett got a ball which actually came in from the slope. It hit the slope, it was down the slope, and the ball actually jagged in, and Virat Kohli probably thought the ball is going to be swerving out. But let me tell you, Plunkett really surprised him by getting to hit the ball on the top of the off stump, and Virat Kohli, I'm sure, would have been crestfallen there, because he has not been having a good series, and he was walking back to the pavilion for a blob, and that made it 118 for 3. And then Ajinkya Rahane, who was the centurion in the first innings, I would say was a recipient of dismissal, which probably every time he sees his video, he will say that why I was given up, because probably one thought it took the hit him on the it didn't hit him on the bat or the glove, but probably on the forearm probably. Well, the Bruce Oxenford once again, who has been under severe pressure, I would say, because there are a lot of decisions which has happened where Bruce Oxenford has come into the picture, and the umpire Bruce Oxenford was the man who actually gave Ajinkya Rahane out when Broad actually tried to bounce Rahane, and Rahane trying to fend it off. Probably never got it on his bat or a glove when you see the video replays, and he was taken by Pryor for 5, and that was the time India were looking pretty shaky. Suddenly, from a situation when Pujara and Murli Vijay were at the crease, things looked decent for India, and suddenly there was a lot of pressure on India with the score on 123 for 4, and as I said, the third session after tea was something that England really came back into it, and the Indians were under pressure, and then it was left to Murli Vijay and Mahendra Singh Dhoni to really see to it that India lost no further wicket, and they had to really really be pretty cautious about their play, not attempting any rash strokes, and really trying to be at the crease, and that's what they precisely did. Now, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, was not out on 12 with 2 boundaries. Murali Vijay has played a very good hand because he's occupied 190 balls, and he was unbeaten on 59 with 7 fours. And India's very, I would say, fortunately seeing of the day with finishing at 169 for 4 at close of play on the 3rd day of this second test match here at Lord's Cricket Ground, where India were leading by only 145 runs. They still have 6 wickets in hand. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Anderson 18 overs, 7 maidens, none for 36 for Anderson. The wicket takers was Liam Plunkett with 224. Ben Stokes had 1 for 35, and Broad had 1 for 41. So that was a match summary, but let me tell you, this match definitely heading towards the result. There is no doubt about it. As I said, India are 145 runs ahead. There are 2 full days left in this particular test match. Well, we definitely have a real exciting affair coming up, because it will be very interesting to see how long India can stretch this score. And one has to remember that England would be the ones who will be batting last on this pitch. And well, it would be very interesting to see how the Indian spinners do. Basically, Murali Vijay, Ravindra Jadeja is the spinner that India has. Whether he is able to make a real impression on the final day when England bat. I think tomorrow's day, the 4th days coming up, would be interestingly watched by everyone to see what really comes up at the end of the 4th day. Well, that is as far as that particular test match is concerned. Now I'll take you down to the other match, giving you a summary. That was Sri Lanka, South Africa, and after today, Sri Lanka resumed at their overnight score, and they were all out for 292. There was not much done by the tailenders, so there was not much done. And then it was Dale Steyn, as I said yesterday, picked up a 5-wicket haul. It was Mone Morkel who picked up the scalps today. He had 3 for 49 and 1 wicket apiece to Imran Tahir and JP Duminy. And then South Africa came into bat. And South Africa came into bat with 163 runs on. So they were 163 runs in the lead. So that is a good lead for South Africa. So that really gave the license to all the batsmen to really play their strokes. And Hashim Amla probably had really given clear instructions to the batsmen to go there and not really potter around, but start playing the strokes. And that's what precisely happened, and it all happened with Dean Elgar contributing 12 runs, and also it was a very good captaincy on the part of Angelo Matthews, who really didn't. Shamin Daranga was injured, so that has been a sort of a big problem for Sri Lanka, because the new cherry was only in the hands of Suranga Lakmal, who didn't get any wickets. In fact, if you look at the overs bowled by the Sri Lankan spinners, there were 50.2 overs which were bowled, and South African captain Hashim Amla, as I said, looking to be a very bold captain at that. Even in his first test match, he has really boldly accepted the challenge, and he has thrown it to the Sri Lankans and told them, like, please go for it. He has given a very achievable target, because South Africa declared the innings close at 206 for 6, and out of the 50.2 overs, only 9 overs were bowled by the pace bowler Suranga Lakmal, and all the other overs, all the balance overs, the 41 overs, were shared between Rangana Herath, the left-arm spinner, who bowled 22 overs, 2 maidens, 84 runs and 2 wickets, and the offie Dilruwan Pereira, who bowled 19.2 overs, 1 maiden, 79 runs, and he picked up 4 wickets. And looking at it, Dean Elgar's contribution was 32 with 2 boundaries. Alvaro Peterson made 32 with 4 boundaries. Du Plessis made 30. Everybody contributed with 3 boundaries. Hashim Amla himself made 22 with 2 boundaries, but AP de Villiers played a breezy knock of 51 with 6 fours. Quinton de Kock making 36 with 4 fours, and Duminy was not out on 8. And South Africa at 206 for 6, declaring the innings close. So Hashim Amla, the South African captain, setting up a target of, as I said, a very achievable target of 370 runs to win in 4 sessions. In today's cricketing world, we can say that 370 in 4 sessions is still achievable, and that's what precisely South Africa did. But what I'm noting here is that Hashim Amla, the new South African captain, he's having a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he looks to be a very, very bold captain here. And chasing 370, well, Upul Taranga looked like driving every delivery as if he was in a real hurry there, and Upul Taranga paid for it, as this time he tried to drive Steen, and Quinton de Kock behind the stumps took the catch as the ball moved a bit further, and Taranga was gone for 14 with 2 fours. That made it 14 for 1, and then it was a bit of a testing time for both Kaushal Silva, the pocket-sized opener, and Kumar Sangakkara, the experienced hand, and both of them slowly but surely got their bearings right. They solved the initial phase of Dale Steen, Vernon Philander, Moni Morkel. Then they had to deal with the spinners, spin of Imran Tahir, and they did it perfectly well. And finally, Sri Lanka, chasing 370 to win, were well placed going into the 5th day. They had Kaushal Silva not out on 37 with 5 boundaries. Kumar Sangakkara was looking pretty good, not out on 58 with 7 fours and 1 6, and Sri Lanka finishing at 110 for 1 at close of play on the 4th day of this second test of this test match, which was played here at Galle. So as you know, this is the test match which is played at the Galle International Stadium. As I said, Hashim Amla is, as I said, a very, very bold declaration on his part. All in all, the 5th day's play, so more than the Lord's test match, I think this is the one which would be really, really interestingly seen, because this is the match which is going to be keenly watched, because tomorrow is the final day of this test match here in Galle, and I'm sure the crowds are going to be milling around here in Sri Lanka at the Galle cricket ground, probably hoping for a home side victory. But let me tell you, there are a lot of roughs created. It would be very interesting to see. Today we couldn't see much of an impression being done, but tomorrow I think it will be very, very, one would be keenly watching Imran Tahir, the right arm leg spinner, doing something, because and let's have a look at the bowling figures from the South Africans. Dale Steen 6 overs 2 maidens 1 for 18. Vernon Philander 6 overs 1 maiden 3 maidens none for 13. Moni Morkel 4 overs 1 maiden none for 13. Imran Tahir bowled 10 overs. He gave away 40 runs. Very good strokes played by Sangakkara and Kaushal Silva. Dumini 5 overs 1 maiden none for 24. Elgar bowling 1 over for 1 run. So tomorrow, as I said, we have seen during the phase of play that there has been footmarks already there, and those footmarks are going to get wider and they're going to break up. There are going to be more cracks on the pitch, being the final day, and I think it is going to be a very, very interesting phase of play coming up tomorrow when the 5th day is played. The 5th day is going to be pretty interesting because for Sri Lanka, well, they're looking pretty good right now, but again, it's very difficult to say anything right now, because I would be really seeing how Imran Tahir bowls tomorrow, and Imran Tahir would be the key for South Africa tomorrow. And probably looking at the pitch and looking at the way Rangana Herath and also the Dilruwan Pereira bowled, probably Hashim Amla, the South African captain, would have thought that Imran Tahir could be the key to their chances, and he could really go on to that bold declaration. But really, I have to commend the new captain South Africa, the South African captain Hashim Amla, in his very first test, going on and doing such a bold declaration. It really speaks a lot of this particular player, not only as a player, and look like to be a very good cricketer. I can only remember such bold declarations coming in probably in next year from one of the greatest all-rounders that the world has produced, Sir Garfield Sobers of the West Indies, who used to declare and go, and I do remember those days. So looking at that, it looks to be an interesting match which is coming up tomorrow as far as the 5th and final day's play is concerned. Well, dear fans of the Towers, as I said, yesterday's cricket couldn't be uploaded, very unfortunately, even though I did my best at the in fact I described Sunil Narin's super over in greater detail than what I did. Unfortunately, I would say I didn't have the pleasure of bringing that to you. Thanks to YouTube, who actually some YouTube problems, my video never got uploaded. Anyways, I hope you all like this cricket video of mine today. Thanks for your company as usual. This is your host Ram, saying good night to all my dear fans, friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Thank you.